Imagine waking up to news alerts saying 3 giant Filipino volcanoes have erupted at the same time, and scientists are completely baffled. I mean, can you even picture that chaos? This isn't just some wild fiction. It actually highlights why our beautiful islands are sitting on some of the most powerful volcanic systems on Earth. With over 20 active volcanoes, the Philippines is like a hotbed of geological activity. It's fascinating, yet a little scary, right? Each eruption could reshape the landscape and impact countless lives, reminding us just how dynamic our planet really is. So, what is a supervolcano anyway? You've probably heard the term thrown around, usually connected to places like Yellowstone in the United States or Toba in Indonesia. Scientifically, it's not an official classification, but it generally refers to a volcano capable of a supereruption. We're talking about an eruption of magnitude 8 on the Volcano Explosivity Index, or VEI. These are civilization-altering events that eject over 1,000 cubic kilometers of material. They are incredibly rare and unimaginably powerful, far beyond the scale of a typical eruption. Now let's be clear. In the Philippines, our volcanologists at Volcs don't officially label any of our volcanoes as supervolcanoes. We have many large and very active stratovolcanoes and calderas, like Pinatubo, Taal, and the vast Laguna caldera. They really don't match that technical supereruption definition when you look at their recent geological history. So where are these giants hiding? The Philippines sits right on the Pacific Ring of Fire, which is like nature's own roller coaster of volcanic activity. It's all about those tectonic plates crashing into each other, creating a cluster of powerful volcanoes. Pretty wild, right? Take Mount Mayon, for instance. It's not just stunning with its perfect cone shape, but it's also one of the most active volcanoes in the country. Then there's Taal Volcano, which sits right in the middle of a lake. Talk about a dramatic setting. And who could forget about Mount Pinatubo? Its eruption in 1991 was one of the biggest in the 20th century, changing the landscape forever. These giants are more than just mountains. They tell the story of our Earth's power and beauty. First, Mount Pinatubo. Its 1991 eruption was a colossal VEI 6 event, the second largest of the 20th century. It ejected so much ash and gas into the atmosphere that it cooled the entire planet for about 2 years. Then there's Taal Volcano. While it looks small, it's actually a complex and extremely explosive caldera system. It sits inside a massive ancient crater and has a long history of devastating eruptions. And of course, there's Mayon Volcano, famous for its perfect cone shape. It's the country's most active volcano, constantly reminding us of its power with frequent eruptions, lava flows, and pyroclastic density currents. Beyond these, we have other massive volcanic complexes under study, like the Laguna caldera, which Metro Manila sits on, and others in Mindanao, like Apo and Calatungan. The key takeaway is that our archipelago is a hot spot of volcanic energy. Now let's get cinematic. Imagine this fictional scenario. One night, without any escalating warning, scientific instruments go wild. Seismic sensors across Luzon are overwhelmed. Satellites detect 3 massive heat signatures appearing almost simultaneously. Pinatubo, Taal, and Mayon have all erupted in a catastrophic, synchronized event. Imagine the visuals: 3 colossal ash columns, dark and menacing, punching through the clouds and climbing into the stratosphere. Over Metro Manila and central Luzon, the sky is filled with volcanic lightning, a terrifying spectacle of nature's fury. Your phone buzzes with emergency alerts, but then the power grid fails, plunging entire regions into darkness. What would a night like this actually mean on the ground? The ash fall would be unimaginable. Instead of one volcano's ash plume drifting in a single direction, you'd have overlapping zones of heavy ash blanketing most of Luzon. Breathing would become hazardous for millions. Multiple pyroclastic flows, superheated avalanches of ash, gas, and rock, would surge down the slopes of all 3 volcanoes, incinerating everything in their paths. And with the inevitable rains that follow, this ash would turn into lahars, which are volcanic mudflows as dense as wet concrete, choking rivers and burying communities. Air traffic over the entire country, and likely a large part of Southeast Asia, would be completely paralyzed. It's a truly apocalyptic picture, but here's the crucial question. Could a chain reaction like this really happen? The short answer is, it's extremely unlikely. While volcanoes in a region can sometimes influence each other through changes in regional stress or shared deep-seated magma systems, a truly synchronized, massive eruption of 3 distant, independent volcanoes is practically in the realm of science fiction. Each of our major volcanoes, Taal and Mayon, has its own unique plumbing system, its own magma chamber and network of conduits. For them all to reach a critical pressure point at the exact same time would be an astronomical coincidence. Our real-time monitoring data from PHEVOLCS shows no evidence that multiple major calderas are gearing up for simultaneous super-eruptions. So you can breathe a sigh of relief. This multi-eruption nightmare is not a realistic threat. So what do our scientists at PHEVOLCS actually monitor and worry about? Let's shift from fiction back to reality. They are constantly watching our most active volcanoes, Mayon, Taal, Canlaon, Bulusan, and Pinatubo, among others. They use a network of seismometers to detect ground shaking, gas sensors to measure volcanic gas emissions, GPS and satellites to track ground deformation or swelling, and webcams for visual monitoring. Their job is to detect the subtle signs that a volcano is becoming restless long before an eruption happens. The realistic high-impact scenarios they prepare for are still very serious. Another Pinatubo-scale VEI-6 eruption is a real, though infrequent, possibility. A large explosive eruption from Taal or Mayon, especially if combined with a typhoon bringing heavy rain and unfavorable winds, could have devastating impacts on nearby populations and agriculture. The long-term effects of lahars and heavy ashfall on infrastructure, water supplies, and the economy are major concerns. These scenarios are dangerous, but they are manageable if people heed the official warnings, understand the risks, and evacuate when told to. The goal of monitoring is to provide timely warnings, not to predict a doomsday event. So why does supervolcano talk go viral so often? It's simple: fear sells. The word supervolcano is incredibly effective clickbait. Pair it with a dramatic YouTube thumbnail of an exploding mountain over Manila, and you have a recipe for viral panic. Sometimes, real scientific discoveries are twisted into something they're not. For example, a few years ago, scientists announced the discovery of a massive submarine caldera, the Apalaki caldera, in the Philippine Sea. It's one of the largest in the world. Immediately, headlines screamed about a hidden supervolcano threatening the country. But what did the discovery actually mean? It tells us about a colossal eruption that happened millions of years ago. It gives us a fascinating insight into our planet's geological past, but it says absolutely nothing about an imminent threat. Discovering an ancient crater is not the same as discovering a volcano about to blow. Instead of panicking about fictional supervolcano chains, here's what you should actually do. Turn that fear into productive action. First, know your risk. Find out if you live within an official volcanic danger zone. This includes areas at risk from ashfall, pyroclastic surges, or lahars. You can find these maps on the PHEVOLCS website. Second, follow the right sources. Get your information directly from PHEVOLCS and your local disaster risk reduction office, the DRMO. Do not trust random prediction videos or sensationalist social media posts. Third, prepare. Have a go bag ready. This should include N95 masks or even just a damp cloth to protect your lungs from ash, a supply of clean drinking water, and a clear evacuation plan if you live near an active volcano. Being prepared for the realistic hazards of a single powerful eruption is far more useful and empowering than worrying about an impossible Hollywood-style catastrophe. So, if this video helped you separate the science fiction from the real volcanic risks we face in the Philippines, please give it a like. It helps us reach more people with factual information. For more science-based breakdowns of Philippine geology, from earthquakes to volcanoes, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And finally, if you have friends or family who get worried by those scary supervolcano posts, share this video with them. Let's help everyone understand what's real and what's just YouTube drama. Thanks for watching, and stay safe.